Psalm 139 is both a prayer and a meditation. It describes God not as distant, but as an all-pervading presence, much like awareness itself, which sees all, holds all, and never leaves us. When we read this psalm through the lens of mindfulness, it becomes a guide for living awake, centered, and in harmony with the divine presence within and around us. From the opening lines, we are reminded that we are fully known. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. In mindfulness practice, this is the recognition that awareness already sees every thought, every sensation, every intention. We don't have to hide from ourselves. God, as pure awareness, meets us just as we are. The psalm then expands this awareness into every corner of existence. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? Just as in meditation, where we learn that the present moment cannot be escaped, Psalm 139 teaches that there is no space in which God is absent. Whether in light or darkness, joy or sorrow, in the heavens or the depths, the divine presence remains constant. The psalmist also reflects on creation itself. You knit me together in my mother's womb. This reminds us to pause with gratitude for the miracle of being alive. Mindfulness asks us to notice the body, the breath, the heartbeat, each a sign that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. In meditation, when we bring awareness to the body, we are honoring this sacred craftsmanship. Yet the psalm is not only about comfort. It recognizes the presence of forces, inner and outer, that resist truth and goodness. We could call these the restless mind, the ego, the craving for temporary pleasures. In mindfulness practice, we learn to see these patterns arise without letting them control us. The psalmist chooses alignment with God's way, and we, too, can choose awareness over distraction, compassion over reactivity. The psalm closes with a prayer that mirrors the heart of mindfulness. Search me, O God, and know my heart, test me and know my anxious thoughts. In meditation, we sit and allow our anxieties, judgments, and hidden fears to surface, not to be condemned, but to be transformed by the light of awareness. The final plea, lead me in the way everlasting, is the soul's desire to live awake, liberated, and at peace. Psalm 139. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. I breathe in the awareness that I am fully seen, fully known. There is nothing hidden within me, for you know me as I truly am. You know when I sit and when I rise, you perceive my thoughts from afar. Every movement, every thought, even before I notice it myself, you are aware. My stillness and my activity alike are held in your presence. You discern my going out and my lying down, you are familiar with all my ways. I walk, I rest, I dream, each rhythm of life is understood by you. My patterns are not lost to the universe, they are witnessed in compassion. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. The silence before speech is already known to you. I let go, knowing I am embraced even before expression. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. I am surrounded by your presence, past, future, and now. Your hand steadies me in this moment. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. I rest in the mystery. I do not need to understand everything to be at peace. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? There is no distance from you. Wherever I am, awareness remains. If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. In joy and in sorrow, in the heights of hope and the depths of despair, still, you are here. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. No matter where I wander, across space, across time, across the soul's landscape, your presence anchors me. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, even darkness is not dark to you. Night shines like day. In the shadow, in the unknown, in the fear of being lost, still, light surrounds me. Darkness itself becomes radiant in your sight. For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I pause to honor the miracle of my being. Each cell, each breath, woven with intention. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. I breathe gratitude for this body, this mind, this soul. I am a work of wonder. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. Your eyes saw my unformed body, all my days were written before one came to be. Even before I was known. My journey is no accident, my path is held within divine awareness. How precious are your thoughts toward me, O God! They outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you. Infinite care surrounds me. When I open my eyes each morning, I awaken into your presence once again. If only the darkness of wickedness would fall away. Those who choose violence and rebellion resist the light. Yet my heart is aligned with yours, I long for truth and for love to prevail. I breathe compassion into the brokenness of the world, while standing firm in the light of your way. Search me, O God, and know my heart, test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. I open my heart fully, every anxiety, every wound, every hidden place. May I be guided into peace, into wholeness, into the eternal path of love. Psalm 139 reminds us that we are deeply known, seen, felt, and understood by God, even before we speak or act. This divine knowing is not only a matter of theology, but also an invitation into practice, mindfulness, meditation, and self-awareness. Verses 1 to 6 speak of God's intimate knowledge of us. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. Before a word is on my tongue you, Lord, know it completely. This is what mindfulness teaches us, to pause and witness our thoughts before they arise, to see them without judgment, just as God already sees them. In meditation, we begin to notice the mind's patterns and discover that our value is not in our distractions but in the stillness beneath them. Verses 7 to 12 remind us that there is no escape from God's presence. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? Mindfulness anchors us in this truth. Wherever we are, in joy or despair, in light or darkness, the present moment is infused with the divine. Meditation allows us to touch that presence in silence, training the mind to stop fleeing into past regrets or future anxieties. Verses 13 to 18 reveal the mystery of our creation. For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. In meditation, we honor this truth by cultivating gratitude for our body, our breath, our very existence. Every inhale and exhale become an act of reverence, a reminder that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Mindfulness helps us return to this awe and gratitude every day. Verses 19 to 22 confront the reality of wickedness and rebellion. These verses remind us that just as we turn inward, we must also guard against the forces, within and without, that pull us away from alignment with truth. Meditation becomes our shield, a discipline that keeps us from being consumed by the pleasure seeker, the instinct-driven, pleasure-seeking part of the mind. Through practice, the ego learns balance, and the superego, our moral compass, guides us with compassion rather than rigid fear. Verses 23 to 24 close with the ultimate invitation. Search me, God, and know my heart, test me and know my anxious thoughts. This is mindfulness in its purest form. We sit in meditation and let our thoughts, anxieties, and fears rise before God. We ask to be shown where we cling, where we resist, and we allow meditation to lead us into the way everlasting. If the soul is to evolve, if it is to transcend its lower nature into something freer, clearer, and more radiant, daily meditation is essential. 2 to 4 hours of meditation a day, split into morning and evening, is ideal. This may sound daunting, but even beginning with shorter sessions plants the seed. Meditation gives calm, balance, and perspective. Mindfulness practices reduce stress, soften anxiety, and ease depression by training the mind to live in the present moment. Like Psalm 139, they remind us that life is happening now, not in the regrets of the past or the projections of the future. Mindfulness can be practiced sitting in silence, but also while engaging with others, active listening, hearing with presence, without interrupting or rushing to respond. Emotional awareness, noticing how feelings shape our words and actions. Intentional speaking, choosing words that are conscious, kind, and purposeful. These practices align with the Vedic principles of Dharma, living rightly, Artha, securing what is needed, Kama, balancing desires, and Moksha, liberation through self-realization. Just as the psalmist discovers that God's presence is everywhere, Vedic wisdom teaches that the self, when unclouded by illusion, is already divine. Meditation is not about erasing thoughts but about observing them without attachment. The pleasure seeker, instinct, ego, mediator, and superego, moral compass, are always active, but meditation gives the soul space to discern. It keeps the ego grounded and aligned with the higher path. Consistency is everything. As with Psalm 139, where God's presence is constant and inescapable, meditation requires discipline, daily return, and sincerity. Chanting, scripture reading, or simply sitting quietly with the breath are all valid doorways. What matters is the commitment to return again and again to the stillness within. The enlightened soul lives with peace, compassion, and detachment, not because life is easy, but because meditation has trained the heart to see that the kingdom of heaven is within. If we reinterpret Psalm 139 through a mindfulness lens, God could be understood as awareness itself, the witnessing mind that observes thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. Self-awareness, the capacity for a person to recognize themselves as an individual and understand their feelings, motives, and desires. Mindful awareness, a type of self-awareness, involves paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and sensations in the present moment without judgment. This practice can reduce stress and improve overall well-being. The ego, a person's sense of self-importance, lives in distraction, chasing past and future. The deeper mind, or awareness, is constant, watching all without being disturbed. This, witness consciousness, is very close to what Psalm 139 describes, an all-seeing presence that knows our innermost being. In this sense, God in the psalm could be seen as a symbol of the higher mind, the part of us that transcends fleeting thoughts. Conclusion. Psalm 139 is a map for contemplative living. It teaches that God is not out there, but is present here, within our very awareness, in every thought, every breath, every heartbeat. In daily mindfulness practice, we experience what the psalmist describes, that there is no separation between us and the divine presence. To meditate is to live Psalm 139, to sit in stillness, to be fully seen, to let our anxious thoughts rise in the light of God's awareness, and to walk forward guided by the eternal way.